Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone had a great day today. I definitely did. And I hope you guys that are watching this video is also having a great day as well. And AEW Dynamite was tonight. And holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. If you guys have not watched AEW Dynamite tonight, go out of your way to do so. I'm telling you guys, go. Well, I recommend that you guys go watch. Like, you guys need to go out of your way to watch tonight's episode of Dynamite. AEW Dynamite tonight, live from Houston, Texas, was fucking incredible. Like, I would argue it's one of the best dynamites AEW has ever produced. And that is saying a lot because AEW had produced many great dynamites, but this dynamite specifically deserves to be on this list. Like, holy shit. Like, it shows like these that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. Okay, this show, like, it had great action, great segments, and just overall, it was just fun as hell. Like, there weren't just any comedy or shit that was just forced down our throats. It was organically fun. It was just a fun show. And again, it's shows like these that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. It really makes me proud. I fucking love AEW. I really do. Oh man. Again, if you guys have not gone out of your way, if you guys have not seen AEW Dynamite tonight, go out of your way to do so. I beg you. Go out of your way to do so. Okay, you will not be disappointed. Okay? But that's basically all I gotta say. But I'm sure most of you are here for my review. So, and now usually before I start my review, I usually go over some AEW news if there is some AEW news. Obviously, that's not the case. There's not really any AEW news tonight. So, that's basically all I got to say on that. So, without further ado, I cannot wait. Let's review AEW Dynamite tonight. So once again, AEW Dynamite was live in Houston, Texas, and man, here we go. So right off the bat, we start off the show with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They get this huge pop. They're coming out through the crowd. The crowd is singing "Wow, Faye!" and oh man, it's just awesome. But then all of a sudden, Daniel Garcia and 2.0, the former Everrise, attacked Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They took them out for the time being. They go to the ring and they call out Sting and Darby Allin. So Sting and Darby Allin comes out and this starts off the Tornado Tag Team matchup with Sting and Darby Allin versus 2.0, the former Everrise, Chase Parker and Matt Martell. And my God, like, keep in mind, Sting is in his 60s. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you like his age specifically. Sting's age. Wait, no. This is Sting the Stinger, wrestler. Sting is 62 years old. Sting is currently 62 years old, and he's wrestling like he is in his 40s. This dude is 62 years old and he's fucking wrestling like he's in his 40s. Holy shit, man. Like, my God. Sting, talk about being in great shape. Like, holy shit. Like, Sting was phenomenal in this matchup tonight. He was phenomenal. And, like, this was a very fun match to start off the show. And it go into the crowd, they brawl for a bit, Like a table is involved. Like 2.0, like in one of the most brutal spots I have ever seen. So Darby Allin's skateboard, it's on the outside, and keep in mind a tornado tag team match in AEW is way different than in WWE. In WWE, a tornado tag team match, it's basically like all four men are in the ring at the same time, but there is still disqualifications, and I believe there's no countouts, but there are disqualifications. AEW's version of the tornado tag team match is like it's basically no disqualification, no countouts. Okay, so that's basically what it is. So there is one portion of the matchup, right? Whereas Darby Allin's skateboard, it was like the wheels were facing up. And 2.0, I shit you not, suplex Darby Allin, like his back landed right onto the wheels, like right onto the metal part of the skateboard. And holy shit, that was a brutal spot. Like that was so fucking unique. I never seen that before. Like it, as again, if you guys see my videos, if you guys see my live streams, you guys know that I'm a sucker for hardcore wrestling, and that put a smile on my face. That was a unique and awesome spot. And just the fact that Darby Allin even was okay of doing that spot just goes to show how much of a fucking badass Darby Allin is. Okay, Darby Allin is personally one of my favorites in AEW currently. And again, he's just a badass, an absolute badass. And then in the final few minutes of the matchup, 2.0 power bombed Sting right through the table, but Sting no sells it, comes back up. The crowd is going freaking bananas. Okay, Darby Allin drop kicks 2.0 to the ground, and then Sting did a freaking double scorpion deadlock to 2.0 to end the matchup. Darby Allin and Sting picks up the victory over 2.0. Oh, and I almost forgot that like it was a 3-on-2 fight for the time being, but then John Moxley and Eddie Kingston got his revenge and took Daniel Garcia out of the matchup. But Sting and Darby Allin picks up the victory in a very, very, very fun matchup to start off the show. Very fun matchup. I enjoyed every second of it. And it's just incredible, man. Awesome, awesome shit to start off the show. After that, we get an announcement from Sammy Guevara, and the announcement is that Sammy Guevara is engaged. Sammy Guevara and Pam are engaged and is going to get married in the future. And all I gotta say is congratulations, Sammy Guevara, and I hope your marriage goes extremely well with Pam. Awesome, awesome stuff. I love to see that. And then after that, we get a Sean Spears promo. We get a smart Sean Spears promo. He's talking crap about Sammy Guevara and also talking crap about Pam. And I think he said something along the lines of, "Hey, like you're a honorary member of the Pinnacle, and maybe for one night only. Like will I will end up on you if you know what I mean." Like it was like a simple jab, but it was like a simple but very edgy jab. I really, really like that. And then after that, we get to a match of the year candidate, in my opinion. Sammy Guevara versus Sean Spears. Holy shit. Holy shit. What can I even say about this matchup? What can I even say? Okay, like literally me explaining it would not do it any justice. Let's just say that this match between Sammy Guevara and Sean Spears is a match of the year candidate. It's a match of the year candidate. It was that good. Like, I would argue this was the best match of Sammy Guevara's and Sean Spears' AEW's careers. It was so good. So, so good. And again, you should go out of your way to watch this matchup. Matter of fact, go out your way to watch this show. Okay, because again, this was one of the best AEW shows, not just this year, but of the company's history. Like, so well done. But yeah, Sammy Guevara picks up the victory. I don't want to go into do detail because I want you guys to see this matchup for yourselves. Okay, but let's just say this was a match of the year candidate. Like, this was the best matchup I have seen from both Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara. Awesome, awesome stuff. Go out of your way to watch this matchup. I do highly recommend this matchup, and it's definitely a match of the year candidate, in my opinion. So after that, we get an interview with Christian Cage, and who is now the Impact World Champion. And Don Callis comes out, interrupts Tony Schiavone, and Don Callis is basically saying he's basically patronizing Christian and like secretly talking crap about Christian. But basically, Christian should call Don Callis a piece of shit, and rightfully so. But he is a great piece of shit. So yeah, great interview by Christian Cage. After that, we get a promo from that UFC coach Dan Lambert, who had backup this time, and my God, he is a great heel manager. Like he produced a lot, like he produced a very good amount of heat tonight. And like a lot of people in Texas were booing the hell out of him. And this was a great promo. Like, I know this might not be much, but I really hope Dan Lambert becomes a manager, because he would be a great heel chicken shit type manager. Like, I thought this was an incredible promo by Dan Lambert. After that, it looked like Lance Archer was going to kick Dan Lambert's ass once again, like last time at Road Rager. But interestingly enough, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page attacked Lance Archer from behind. And yeah, so that was from out of nowhere. We haven't seen Scorpio Sky. We haven't seen Scorpio Sky in a long time, and we haven't seen Ethan Page since his coffin match with Darby Allin in, I believe, Fyter Fest Night 1. So they made their return and attacked Lance Archer. So it looks like we got a little mini rivalry on our hands between Lance Archer and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. After that, we get a promo by Chris Jericho, basically hyping up the matchup between Chris Jericho and MJF that will happen later on tonight. But yeah, great promo as always by Chris Jericho. After that, we go from one banger of a match to another banger of a match. Okay, the Young Bucks defending the AEW Tag Team Championships against Jurassic Express. And holy shit. Like, say it with me, guys. Say it with me. Holy shit. Oh my God. Like, what can I even say? This matchup, oh, it delivered. It not just delivered, it over fucking delivered. Okay, this was an incredible matchup, and this is also a match of the year candidate. This was also a match of the year candidate. The Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express absolutely killed it. And in my personal opinion, it's a match of the year candidate. And if you guys have not seen this matchup, go out of your way to do so. You would not be disappointed. Like, literally, me trying to explain this matchup won't do it any justice. It won't do it any justice. Okay, I recommend if you have any free time, like if you have free time and you missed out on AEW Dynamite tonight, go out of your way to watch this show, because again, this show was phenomenal. And again, like, go out of your way to watch the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Another banger of a matchup. Definitely a match of the year candidate. But the Young Bucks picked up the victory over Jurassic Express to retain the AEW Tag Team titles. But after that, Kenny Omega comes out. They're attacking. Kenny Omega and Luke Gallows comes out with Christian Cage. They take down Christian Cage and basically the Elite, which looked like a great shot, a great shot of the Elite standing tall as Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Son. It's all down on the ground. They're all knocked out. They're all taken out by the Elite, and it was a great shot of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Gallows and Anderson all posing and all like basically showing their dominance and awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Like again, literally me explaining it would not do it any justice. Go out of your way to watch this matchup. Go out of your way to watch this show, but specifically go out of your way to watch this tag team matchup, man. Like my God. My freaking God. What so incredible. Okay, so after that, we get an interview with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And she, incredible interview as always by Britt Baker. And we also got Jamie Hayter, who made her debut last week on AEW Rampage. And of course, she attacked both Red Velvet and Chris Statlander. And of course, Jamie Hayter, like right off the bat, like she talked a little bit in her promo. She is a great promo. She is definitely a great promo. And she's all muscle up and everything. Like she like just her presence alone speaks like badassery. And like I heard a lot of great things about Jade Hater. Like I never really seen Jade Hater in action, but I really heard a lot of great things about her, and I can't wait for what she does next week against Red Velvet. That's more than likely going to be a really good matchup, and I cannot wait. But yeah, a great interview as always from Jamie Hayter and from the AEW Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker. Do it with me, guys. DMD. Awesome stuff. After that, we get a promo by both Matt Hardy and the Best Friends. They're basically talking crap about each other. And it basically announces the match for next week. As next week, we're going to have Orange Cassidy going one-on-one against Matt Hardy. So that is going to be a good matchup next week. After that, we get an interview with Paul White. Okay, and basically say, oh, it's great back to be in the ring, seeing you guys live. And then basically the factory interrupts. And basically, like Paul White said in the end of the promo, that at All Out, it would be Paul White going one-on-one against QT Marshall. Now, like, here's the thing. If, like, to be honest, I don't really care much about this matchup. But if this matchup ends up being a squash match, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I am if this match ends up being like a 30-second to a minute long matchup, then I am perfectly fine with it. Like a lot of people in the IWC and a lot of people in general just hate QT Marshall. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see QT Marshall get squashed on pay-per-view. So as long as it's a squash match, like I'm perfectly fine with it. Perfectly fine with it. After that, we get Jay Cardhill, like a promo. And this Friday on Rampage, the first dance with the potential debut of CM Punk, baby. So basically, one of the matches that has been announced for Rampage this Friday will be Jay Cardhill going one-on-one against Kiera Hogan. Now, I have seen Kiera Hogan wrestle, of course, in Impact Wrestling. And she's been also wrestling a lot recently on AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation. She's a great talent. She is a really great talent. And I know a lot of people are like wanting AEW to sign Kiera Hogan. I'm on that boat. I really hope that AEW signs Kiera Hogan. But yeah, that is going to be a banger of a matchup this Friday as Jay Cardhill goes one-on-one against Kiera Hogan. After that, we get an interview with the Elite, and it has been announced from Tony Schiavone that there would be a tag team eliminator tournament with 4 specific teams. The Varsity Blondes, Private Party, the Lucha Bros, Cero Miedo, and Jurassic Express. And the winner of this tournament will face the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles at All Out in a steel cage match. A fucking steel cage match. Holy shit. Like, that is going to be amazing. And now I'm going to say my early predictions about this tournament. Obviously, the finals are going to be Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Brothers, and that's going to be a banger of a matchup. But I'm kind of on the fence because on one hand, like, it makes sense to do the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express again, this time in a sealed cage match, because though it was an incredible matchup between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express, there was a lot of interference. But at the same time, like, the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, what else can I say other than the fact that it's the Young Bucks and it's the Lucha Bros? Like, who doesn't want to see that match? Like, I would love to I would love for AEW to run it back between the between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. But something might tell me, like, something is telling me that Andrade might cost the Lucha Bros the matchup against Jurassic Express. So I think Jurassic Express is going to win this matchup. But either way, like personally, it doesn't matter if it's the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express or the Lucha Bros versus, or the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, or the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Either matchup, I'm fine for All Out. Like, either way, it's going to be one hell of a banger. Like, I will say that my prediction for this tournament, I think Jurassic Express is going to win. But again, either matchup would be incredible, and I wouldn't complain if it's either or. It's one of those few situations where whatever matchup we get, I'm perfectly fine with it. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks in a steel cage match, I love it. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in a steel cage match, I love it. Either way, wherever matchup we get at All Out, it's going to end up being a banger of a matchup anyway. So, yeah, that's basically all I got to say on that. After that, we get a segment with Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, the FTW champion, and Team Taz. So basically, they want to call out Brian Cage. So Brian Cage music plays, and basically in the Brian Cage got initially knocked out backstage by Will Hobbs, but Brian Cage got back up, and basically Brian Cage and Will Hobbs started to brawl once again. Ricky Starks, like, it was basically not a part of Team Taz's plan. So Ricky Starks and Hook went to the back trying to help Brian Cage out. Obviously, we didn't know what really happened. We didn't really know the aftermath, but like, I'm sure we'll find out next week. But more than likely, we're going to probably get Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks, or Brian Cage. We're probably going to get Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks at All Out. And I think that would be a great match. I want them to run it back. Like, run it back. Because I think that's going to be a really good match. After that, we get an interview with Death's Triangle. Cielo. Miedo. So he basically a great promo by Pac, basically saying that he accepts Andrade's match, and it's official. Andrade versus Pac at All Out, and that is a match of the year candidate contender. Like that is going to be a banger, banger of a matchup, and I cannot wait for it. But after that, Andrade and Chavo Guerrero interrupts that triangle, and Andrade gave Pac a giant, like it was like a big ass contract, like it looked like it had like 600 pages, but basically Andrade gave Pac the contract to sign, basically saying like, "Oh, you're gonna get this matchup at All Out, but under my conditions." And something tells me that we're gonna find out what those conditions are in probably next week or maybe in the week or two before All Out. Like something tells me that we might like see those conditions come into play, but that remains to be seen. After that, we get Thunder Rosa versus Penelope 4. It was like a slow start, nothing too crazy, but it was a very, very good matchup in my opinion. Thunder Rosa, one of the best female wrestlers in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Literally, my Mount Rushmore of current female wrestlers is Sasha Banks, Miko Satomura, Io Shirai, and Thunder Rosa. These four ladies are the best female wrestlers in the world currently, in my opinion. And again, Thunder Rosa, incredible wrestler. And it's just great to see her wrestler. Awesome, awesome stuff. After that, we get a interview with Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson. Obviously, we haven't seen Arn Anderson since Road Rager when he got Black Mass by Malachi Black. And it has been announced for next week that Arn Anderson's son, Brock Anderson, will go one-on-one against Malachi Black. So it looks like Brock Anderson is going to defend Arn Anderson's honor. So that matchup is happening next week. Speaking of next week, like that segue, we're gonna talk about next week's matches, the matches that has been announced for next week. So here are the matches that has been announced for next week. So next week we got a tag team eliminator tournament semifinal matchup as the Lucha Bros will go against the Varsity Blondes, which is definitely going to be a great match. We got Red Velvet going one-on-one against Jamie Hayter. Orange Cassidy going against Matt Hardy, and Malachi Black going against Brock Anderson. And we also got the matches announced for Rampage this Friday, as Jurassic Express will go against Private Party and another tag team eliminator semi-final. Also, Jay Cardhill will go against Kiera Hogan, and the main event of the show will be Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia, which definitely going to be a great match. But though it's the main event, I think we all know what the true main event is. A certain voice of the voiceless, a certain straight as superstar, a certain best in the world. Let's just say that I am so excited for this Friday. I am so fucking hyped for this Friday. This Friday it's going to change the wrestling business. Like, it won't change the wrestling business, but bro, like this would be a true turning point, not just for AEW, but for professional wrestling as a whole. Like, I'm telling you, this Friday is going to be one of the biggest shows in AEW history. And when he comes out, it is going to be the biggest story that weekend. Okay? Not even SummerSlam. Doesn't matter what the fuck WWE does. Okay? That is going to be second best to what is going to happen this Friday. This Friday is going to change professional wrestling as we know it. Like this Friday is going to be one of the biggest days, not just in AEW, but in professional wrestling as a whole. And the tide is going to shift. And when he comes out this Friday, then all the people, all the AEW haters, all those people that say that AEW is not competition, if he comes out and makes his debut on AEW this Friday, okay, you have no choice but to treat WWE has no choice but to treat AEW as competition. Okay, I'm telling you, once a certain man by the name of Phil Brooks, once he comes out, the tide is going to shift. And pro wrestling currently, as it is right now, it is going to change for the better. And pro wrestling in general, especially AEW, is going to rise up to a high stratosphere to the point that AEW is going to be untouchable. Okay, so that is all I got to say on that. So after that, we get a vignette by the TNT champion, the God's favorite champion, Miro. And Miro is calling out Eddie Kingston, my boy. Okay, Miro is calling out Eddie Kingston. So it's happening. It's happening. We're getting Miro versus Eddie Kingston. And it looks like we're getting it sooner than we thought because I was under the assumption that they were going to save this matchup for the big New York show at basically the Glam Slam show in New York City, which I think it's September 21st. I thought AEW was going to save that match for that show specifically, but no, I think we're going to get this matchup sooner than later, as I think we might get this matchup at All Out between Miro and Eddie Kingston. But either way, like, it doesn't really matter when we get this matchup. Like, either way, this matchup is going to be a fucking banger of a matchup, and I cannot wait to see both Miro and Eddie Kingston beat the ever-living shit out of each other. Now, after that, we get a promo by the Death Rider himself, Jon Moxley. And again, great promo. Great promos. Basically, talking crap about everyone in AEW, talk crap about the Elite, talk crap about Hangman Adam Page, talk crap about Christian. But basically, he's hyping up his matchup against Daniel Garcia this Friday on Rampage. And again, I thought it was a great promo by Jon Moxley. After that, we get to our main event. Okay, our fifth labor of Jericho, as Chris Jericho went one-on-one against Maxwell Jacob Freeman, the highly anticipated matchup. And of course, the stipulation of this matchup is Chris Jericho cannot use his Judas effect. And he couldn't come out to the Judas theme song. So MJF comes out, and basically Chris Jericho comes out to no music. And Texas, bro, you guys did a great job. Like, I thought it was going to be a shit show, I'm not going to lie. But Texas actually did a great job. Like, they were actually in sync. It was actually very in sync to sing Judas by Chris Jericho. And I'm not gonna lie, I sang along as well. Okay, and it was amazing just seeing Texas just like singing Judas and just just seeing that just warms my heart. It's moments like that that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. Makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. So yeah, Texas did a very good job singing Judas. And again, this was a really great matchup. And Jericho was on his A game tonight. Like there was no botches, like none of that. Like Jericho did a freaking line salt. Okay. Jericho did a line salt and and it was a great line salt. Great line salt. I was very impressed by Jericho's line salt. But yeah, it was a great match. Another match you should go back and should go out of your way to watch this matchup. I won't say that this was a match of the year candidate like the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express or Sammy Guevara versus Shawn Spears, but this was still a great matchup and still a matchup that that I do recommend you should watch. But MJF picks up the victory over Chris Jericho as MJF went after the injured arm of Chris Jericho. And after a while, Jericho had no choice but to tap out. So MJF made Chris Jericho tap out. So MJF picks up the victory. Texas is booing the hell out of him, and MJF ended up on top. Definitely the right call by AEW. And yeah, awesome stuff. Something tells me that we might get one more match. One more match between MJF and Jericho. And again, and I feel like there's going to be a stipulation where Chris Jericho's career is on the line. But I feel like something tells me that like they might do one more matchup at All Out. And I'm all in for it. I'm definitely all in for it. But yeah, that's basically all I got to say. Overall, like I said, this was one of the best Dynamites AEW has ever produced. And again, that is saying a lot. And if you guys have not seen tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, go out of your way to do so. You should go out of your way to do so. Like you won't be disappointed. This was a fun show. And again, it's shows like these that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. It really makes me proud. And I'm telling you, AEW is the best promotion in the world right now. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, you may disagree with me, and that's fine. But my opinion stands that AEW is the best promotion in the world right now, even better than WWE. AEW is a million times better than WWE. So yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. But I'm gonna know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you guys think about AEW Dynamite tonight? Was there something you liked? Was there something you didn't like? Was there something specifically you like? Was there something specifically you hate? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. And if you guys like the content that I make, make sure you subscribe and leave the click the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. And of course, I will be here this Friday to review both SmackDown and AEW Rampage. So I'm gonna start reviewing both shows on Fridays. So expect that this Friday for my review for SmackDown and AEW Rampage. But until then, this is Gabriel, and I will see you next time in the asylum. Have a nice night, everyone.